Hello, this is Nia with the Rainbow Cauldron, and today is your general reading for January the 29th, 2014. Okay, the first card I put down will be from the Druid Animal Oracle deck, and it will represent the general feeling, theme for the day, something to think about, something to keep in mind. And the four cards surrounding the center card will be for morning, noon-ish, early evening, possibly the end of the workday, and nighttime. And they will be from the Anna K Tarot deck. Okay, so the first card from the Druid Animal Oracle deck is the Frog. And my own personal feeling about this card, which the booklet for this card doesn't even go into this feeling of mine, but I feel like this card has a lot to do with adaptability, adapting to changes, because that makes a lot of sense for me. We have an amphibian here who can easily go from water to land, and he's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land, and to me that has a lot to do with adaptability and being able to change with your circumstances. And what the booklet does touch upon with that might be related to that sort of feeling is that the booklet says that this has to do with sensitivity. And that makes sense because we see, someone who's able to adapt well is sensitive to their environment and can change easily. And I also see this as the very fact he's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. The water represents emotions and feelings, and then the land, the rock, is stability, the mundane, down to earth energies. So the frog here is someone who is very balanced with his life. He's able to feel things, but also his keep a level head. His and Yeah, that's a lot of the energies that we're feeling here. But one thing that's also relevant about the frog here is the the representation of medicine, and that is the frog. Um, I mean, they have a lot of chemicals, some harmful, some helpful. So frogs are often associated with medicine, medical fields, or the hospital. So that is something to think about with this as well. Um, Depending on what cards we get surrounding this card, it could indicate some sort of maybe trip to the hospital or something medical wise. But if it doesn't represent that, then it really does represent a lot of adaptability, and keeping a cool, level head, but also feeling emotions, a sort of balance of life. Okay. And the cards we have surrounding this, in the morning time, we have the Devil. Oh, makes me think of the weekly reading. And then around lunch, noon, we have the Ten of Pentacles. And I gotta say right off that the connection with here, when we're talking about the hospital sort of feeling, you notice here that there's a newborn baby in her hands. So that may be relevant for some of you. Maybe there is a birth going on in your life today or around today. And then next is early evening sunset, and we have the Queen of Rods, which kind of connects too with the whole birth area. Anything about a queen. And then we have that newborn baby and a possible hospital. That may be relevant here, depending on your circumstances. And finally, we have the Nine of Rods. Okay, so we're starting off the day with the Devil. And here, if you remember the weekly reading, the Gita card that we got, and I actually have it right here. The Gita card that we got for the weekly reading was the Gates of Hell, which had a lot to do with keeping indulgences in check and um, paying attention to things like instant gratification and not uh, being so overconfident that we start slipping and going into unhealthy activities. And that's what we see here because these two cards, my goodness, they could be about the same thing. So here with the Devil, we're starting off the day possibly with a feeling of overconfidence, so much so that you know there it's indulging in maybe some unhealthy activities, um, possibly giving into temptation, um, and just a feeling of um, doing what you want instead of doing making smarter choices. It's sort of an instant gratification sort of feeling, um, and indulgence. And maybe you're starting off the day probably feeling overconfident based on all the positivity that we've seen throughout the week here. And the Gita deck was basically telling you to keep that in check. You know, it's okay to indulge every now and then. We just need to keep a level head, and that's kind of what we see. We need to have one foot on the ground here, and then we move on to the Ten of Pentacles, and if you are experiencing some sort of birth or something like that today, um, that's very relevant here and with the Queen here. So if that's the situation that's going on in your life right now, we're really seeing it play out today. But of course, that's not going to be relevant for everyone. So possible birth energy aside, what this represents is a in lots of abundance, the completion, the end of a project, um, ending in joy, uh, those sorts of energies. Something that was very prosperous, and we're really seeing we're coming together and celebrating the fruits of that labor. And that's the energies we're seeing here. It may not be ending, but we're definitely seeing the benefits of the hard work we've done. And keep in mind too that just because all this good is happening and we're wanting to celebrate and we're being happy, try not to overindulge. And that's what we see here with the Devil and that Gita card. And then around sunset, we have the Queen of Rods. And she is representing someone who is going after what she wants. Um, she is she's demonstrating the power she has and the strength. She's taking on new challenges. Someone determined to get what they want, and that may be someone in your life, or it may be you. Which, if it is you, then pay attention to this. Self-serving attitude, and remember that you're in this with other people, and that's if this is representing you, then that's something you need to keep in mind. If it's representing someone else, then try to get them to have that level head, and determination is something that's very um, positive, but we need to make sure we keep other people's interests in mind as well. And we see persistence and determination followed through here in the Nine of Rods. And here's someone who is he's building something and continues to build even though he has occasional setbacks. And there might be some sort of setback going on here, but this is really talking about keeping that persistence, maintaining the course. And that's the energy we have going on today. So hopefully this was insightful for you. And there you go. And thank you so much, and blessed be.